Before I start this video, I should explain to you that it's going to run a little bit long, and it's a tutorial, and I want to show it all in one video. It's not something most people like anyway, but in the last video, I mentioned that I was going to convert this block of just Mopar Joes from a 3/8 oil pickup to a 1/2 inch Hemi pickup. And one of the viewers chimed in and said, well, why don't you video that? Because I want to do that, and I'd like to see what I need to do. Well, I've never done it, so don't think I'm an expert at this. But in a way, that's good because he's going to have the same problems that I have. And he'll understand that the reason it's not going good for him is because it's not easy. So I just wanted to let you know that this won't be for everybody, but for those of you that want it, you got it. And now for the video that nobody's been waiting for and that nobody's going to watch. We're going to convert the wedge 3/8 inch oil pickup to a 1/2 inch Hemi oil pickup. I know nobody's interested in this, and it'll probably only get 2 or 3 views worldwide, but for those few of you, let's do it. We're going to review, it's only 4 steps to this process. We're going to drill this hole out. We got our Big Block BRB engine Bible. We're going to give you some views here of what we're going to do. We're going to drill this out to 11/16. Then we're going to tap it for a 1/2 inch pipe tap. And then we'll go over there and I'll show you the hole we're going to drill on the other side. And then at the end, we're going to, where this line meets this line, you got these 2 drill holes meeting each other, which is depicted in this view. We're going to stick this little burr up in that hole and back it into that little corner there and try to smooth out the flow there a little bit. And this is the only oil mod that Mopar says you need to do for a wedge motor, and so we're going to do it. Now this is the view of the other hole that we're intersecting with. This, we got the pickup here and the line that feeds it into the base here, and then it connects with this, and this feeds the oil pump. So it says to drill this out to 5/8, but this particular block is already 5/8. In my quest for wedge knowledge, there are some blocks that aren't this way. I measured a low block and it was 9/16. So, but this one's already drilled, and so we got 1 step of 3 already done for us. So we get to cheat a little bit. And that brings up another something. Joe just recently acquired this block in trade, and I don't think he ever really looked it over. The guy had it in the back of his truck, and they unloaded it, and he set it on the pan rail, and then he hauled it down here on the pan rail, and then we unloaded it and had it lifter valley up, on the engine stand to put it on the engine stand. So, I don't think Joe's looked this block over. So, what we could do is just not tell Joe that we whacked it, and just tell him, well, golly, Joe, I thought you knew, or I never noticed, or something like that. And then he would never really know, and I think that would work. I mean, I don't know. I just tell him, these people were going to race it or something. They painted the lifter valley red and all that kind of stuff, and this was already the right size, you know. So I don't know. I think he might fall for it. Maybe that'll be a better angle for you. That angle, I think. See, I think I was a hair off. I think I need to be further out here. Okay. Get just like that. Okay, point over to there. Point to that. I need to be pointing to that hole. I think I'm a little further out one way. Woo, not that much. Maybe right there. What row? Wow. This is going to be a tough night. Well, I knew that could happen, but I was really more worried about it grabbing and messing my wrist up like I've already done 500 times. But, I mean, I'm going to try to get this drill bit out of here. It's just about flush with the hole, but, you know, I don't know if you can weld onto a drill bit. I've never done that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to just try to hit on it with a punch or something. Try that. I guess the good thing is, if I can't get it out, then Joe will just have to run an external line with the -12, which is what I'd rather have on there anyway, but I don't know. I'll try it. I don't know. Maybe these vice grips will go in there and do something. I don't know. Yeah, look at that. Do you know how long it's going to take to grind a new point on there? That is a brutal job. Did I tell you this was going to be easy and quick and all? I think you've been lied to, is what I think. Okay, I've got another drill bit. Let's try it again. If I could just hold it straight and not break it. And I don't know if I can do that. Mm. Nothing's easy. Mm. You know, if I break this one, I don't know if there's another one in town. I really don't know what to do. Wow. It's being very unfriendly. I mean, really. While you're watching this very boring struggle I'm having drilling with this drill bit and drill, and why I can't hold it straight in the hole, I don't know why I'm having so many problems, but I want to tell you a story that doesn't pertain to a Mopar oil pump, but it does pertain to the topic here. 15 years ago, I bought a farm. The farm had a reservoir, and the reservoir was filled with water by a 16-inch relift water pump in the bow. But the problem was, the pump was supposed to be putting out 7,000 gallons per minute, and I was getting about 5,000 gallons per minute. Well, I didn't know what was wrong, so I worked on it, worked on it, worked on it, tried everything I could possibly think about, and this went on for several months. I don't want you to think this was something quick and easy. So after several months of fighting this, on and on, I bumped into a smart guy who told me, your intake pipe is not big enough. And I said, well, it's a 16-inch relift, and I've got a 24-inch intake pipe. He said, well, I don't care. That's not big enough. You need a minimum of 30 inches, and 36 would be preferable. And of course, I didn't want to pay all that money to install a new intake pipe, but I had already spent so much money and had nothing to show for it. And so I put in a 30-inch intake pipe. Well, you know the rest of this story. I flipped the switch on and it pumped 7,000 gallons a minute. It's hard for me to believe, but that's just the way it is. And so here we are with these Mopars. We have a 383 oil pump that has a half-inch discharge, and we're trying to feed it with a 3/8 pickup tube, and it's not big enough. Moparjoe already told you it's not big enough. Tom Hoover tells you very first modification to do to a wedge block is to convert it to a Hemi pickup. I mean, I don't know why people are so resistant to this. Tom Hoover knows, and he tells you that all the pressure passages are big enough in the block. Work on the suction side. I mean, if you're not going to listen to Tom Hoover, who are you going to listen to? something just didn't feel right. And I went back and reread the book. And it said something about you can drill all the way to the bottom with the 11/16, but they said it's optional. I didn't understand what they were saying. Well, now I see what they're saying. The purpose of drilling to 11/16 is to get the pipe in there. But once the pipe is in, the passageways in the block are already bigger than the ID of the half-inch pickup. So you don't have to go beyond this. This last 30 or 45 minutes I've been drilling to nowhere for nothing. So now it comes time to figure out a way to tap that thing. I have a lot of tap handles, but let me, obviously tap handle's not going to work. So I've got to do a little ciphering on that, but that's what's going on here. I'm trying to drill too far. And it was all for nothing. You got to drill far enough to get the pickup in. The oil passage in the block is bigger than the ID of the pickup, so you don't need to go any further. Okay, folks, let's be honest. I've tapped 1,000 holes in my life, and if this doesn't go easy, I'm going to be surprised. I mean, it's cast iron, I'm kind of aiming for that hole on the pad. If I screw this up, Joe may have to bend his pickup a little bit, but I'll get over that. Looks to me like I'm a little far out. Usually the pickup is tighter to that, isn't it? Joe may have his work cut out for him, but he's a good fabricator. We know that. Besides, this block was half-inch pickup when it got here. That guy was building a race motor or something, Wonder if I need a little more stuff in there. I know that's not deep enough. We're going to have to keep going even though we don't want to because we feel like we're about to break it. Oh, I don't like that. I'm going to take this out and clean it out. Just because. Wow, I've cleaned it out and put more tap magic on it, and it is just so slow going, and I'm so scared to death that I'm going to break that thing. I don't even know what you do if you break a tap like this. It's just turning really tough. I actually have I've got something that would have made this a little easier. But this is sure not easy. going to take a whole can of Tap Magic just because I'm trying to be now. The book says 6 or 7 threads sticking out. If the book says 6 or 7 threads, we're nearly there. So I guess I need to take it out and test fit it. Wow. If anybody ever comes by your house and wants you to do a block for them, you might want to tell them that your arthritis is flaring up. You'd love to do it, but just can't do it right now. They make for pipe threads, they make a reamer. See how that's a taper? So after you drill your hole, you put this reamer in there, and then you don't have to remove so much metal, and this wouldn't have been such a miserable job. Now let's see how this works. Okay, let's test fit this. Well, that screen looks a little laid back to me. I don't know if I got it too far this way. And I thought it would need to be closer to that wall, but Joe can heat that up and bend it or something, you know what I mean? I think we're good. Besides, it was ½ inch when it got here, you know what I mean? Okay, folks, it's nearly over. You know, the only thing we have left, we're going to stick that ball burr in there. We're going to slide it back to that corner, bring it back this way, go in, slide, bring it back. Then we're going to come in from the other side. We're going to go in the hole, slide over here, and come back this way. We're just trying to radius this intersection a little bit for flow. I think that's enough. Now we're going to do the same thing to this side. It's coming right through here. Come in here, slide over, and just touch that right. See that right there where it makes that turn? We'll just touch it. I think we're good. We've done our deal.